you know, it applies to any number of bosses.
It does indeed. I can't believe that Jack's still out there.
Oh, I know.
We tried to get him out. So normally when you book a show, you go through a booking agent and a manager, and you know everybody's got these whole things. When you go try to book Jack, you talk to his wife.
Yeah.
Like she's, you know, it's very, very different.
Well, I was trying to remember, some friends of mine just put up some pictures on Facebook where they had a little gig at some little cafe, and I can't even, it was like Northern California. And he just showed up, so they had him sing a few tunes, and Maria Moldaver was there,
Oh, yeah.
passing the hat.
Wow, that's great.
All taking pictures with him.
Well, so we're doing this event at the Benaroya Hall, which is the Symphony Hall in downtown Seattle, and there's a lot of great performers coming in from all over the country, and we've got some people speaking. One of the things that we're going to do during our show is a friend of ours is going to read the last notes on Woody, which is Bob Dylan. You guys familiar with who Bob Dylan is?
Yeah.
Bob Dylan's basically probably the biggest folk act and possibly one of the most important people ever in the history of music. He changed the course of music many, many times. A lot of people say he put the brain on top of rock and roll because he was not just a folk singer, but he was a sex symbol. He was the thinking man, thinking woman's Elvis, kind of, if that makes any sense. And there would have been no Bob Dylan without Woody Guthrie, because Dylan started his career emulating Woody. And I think a lot of the nature of American protest music really comes from Woody Guthrie. It comes from the way that he wrote. Because how many times in your life, think about this for a minute, how many times in your life have you really stood up for something where everyone around you disagreed with you? You know, it's a thing. It's a hard thing to do. We all like to feel that we'd be able to do it, but it's scary when everyone tells you you're wrong. Well, imagine living a whole life where everybody told you were wrong your whole life, and you were a dissident against that very thing. And Woody spent his life broke. He spent his life running away from the government. They were constantly trying to throw him in jail. You know, he was an amazingly talented man that really didn't have a whole lot of benefits in his life from his vision. So he lived a life of integrity. So I like to think I'm going to play you an original of mine, and most of what I write is more in the rock and roll, a little bit of soul, that vein, but this is kind of a protest song, and this is a protest song on a personal level. I actually came out of a Bob Dylan tribute, and there was an act. Do you guys know who Sinead O'Connor is? Am I going out on a limb now? Sinead O'Connor was a big star in the 90s, and she came out to this Bob Dylan tribute, and she had just torn up a picture of the Pope on American TV, which was a very strong political statement, because you don't tear up a picture of the Pope in the United States. Take it very personally. And so when she steps up on stage at a Bob Dylan show, Bob Dylan was was a protest singer, everybody in the crowd boos her off of the stage at the celebration of a protest singer. Does anybody get that irony? So she runs off to the side of the stage, and you can hear this guy, Chris Christopherson, off stage go, don't listen to him, honey. Don't let the bastards get you down." So that's what this song's about. Without a thought, their lungs full deep of bitter breath, your hair has seen 1,000 voices. They carelessly struck your skin, and they cut you right into your veins, and your blood was spilled and the justice paid. Were they blinded by the fearful rage, all the things they couldn't carry? Yeah, 'cause when you stopped where your body started to shake, and then you found that it was hard to concentrate, 'cause the irony was blinding. Yes, you turned to face the crowd. Oh, and don't you let the bastards get you down. Your faith was questioned by so many men who condemn the things that they don't understand, for the day when they shed their skin from their solitary crimes. From the body bird lifted there with a small communion, yeah, a quiet prayer, put $1 in the coffin of your flesh is weak. Oh, to be the weak, yeah, they'll pay for all the things they can't afford. They're the fragile, faithful in the service of the Lord. 'Cause 'cause the irony was blind. Yeah, she turned to face the crowd. Oh, and don't you let the bastards get you down. Well, with your camel boots and your close-cropped hair like Joan of Arc with a dumb stare, acapella versions of a song of war for the people that are ready for the real hardcore hypocrisy. Decided that the hate they spin cross the line when you flip the switch. Your body, mind, solidarity, you're bad like a model for the world to see. People that appear to be without a spine switch allegiance like they're switching tides of the whole lot, just like a TV show. All the serial relations and the safety jokes. They're flying like a hornet swarming you got you close. But I've done them harm. Live feel for the day when the poison comes and they are still asleep. Yeah, when you stop to where your body starts to shake, well then you found that it was hard to concentrate. Yeah, 'cause the irony was blind. Yeah, she turned to face the crowd. Oh, and don't you let the bastards get you down. Oh, and don't you let the bastards get you down.